2020, whenever he was gone and I couldn't find him, and so I just assumed he was in the hospital, I found an obituary for him. And at first I thought it was real. I didn't know, and I was really, really sad. But I started, because I asked questions to people that knew him about what happened to him, and no one would talk, and no one would say anything, and nobody responded. And I never could find his grave, ever, or anything. Like, the obituary was fake. And then, but basically, and like, he loved me. He came to me with love and information. It's like, you're going to need this information in the future. You're going to need to know all this. And he was telling me stuff about, like, he talked about Raytheon a lot. Like, I think Raytheon used him really heavy, you know, for like his consciousness and things like that. So, but the way I found out, okay, so the only way I found out about the programs, deep state stuff, the cabal, all this stuff, I found that because I have been looking for what happened to him since 2020. So I started searching in 2020, and my research, and it's also kind of done this my whole life, but like as I got older, it got like more and more intense, is that when I would look for something, I would find not the answer really so much to what I'm looking for, but I would find something so bigger, you know, and I would be like, oh, wow. So I found out a lot of stuff. I never, like, so I myself did not find out where he was. However, I was on a channel the other day, and I was on Julia's channel, Anchor Haven. She said to me, she said, so you don't think that he's dead? And I was like, no, I don't feel that he is dead. And she said that she was, you know, I mean, I don't know if she was remote viewing. I think also she was using some other things to help her. And I didn't ask her to find this out for me. She just told me. But she said, he's not dead. And she said, I was asking, like, was he, because I thought he was off planet. Like, I thought he was, like, up here somewhere. But she said that he actually, that she was sensing that he is underwater in a base on mission, but that they memory wiped him, so he has no idea of me. Like, he can't remember me at all, which I'm glad she said that, because number one, I felt that within myself one time, even though it was kind of long ago and I couldn't really make sense of it. And I was like, is that something? Is there something to that? But then also Ishmael Perez, he was the first person that I ever talked to, like voice to voice, about any of the program stuff or any of the, you know, this, you know, what's going on. But he told me, because I was like, Ishmael, I am looking for someone and I feel like that you could help me. And so I called him and I told him like who I was, and I told him about me and stuff. And it was funny because when I was talking to him, he asked me, and he didn't know this, but I guess like you could say he knew from like my accent or whatever, but he was like, are you in the South? And I said, yes. And he was like, you are protected. You're absolutely protected. So maybe he knows more about me even than I know about myself. But, yeah, so that's how I found this stuff out. He told me, he said that, when I was talking to him on the phone, and this was about 2 years ago, I can't remember like the day, but I know it was cold because it was freezing that day when I called him that night. But he told me, he said, in the beginning of 2020, they took a bunch of soldiers. And he said, so that could be where he is at. And I mean, if he's in an underwater base, like
I'm going to tell you, he's in the military. That's what I know.
I have a thought for you, Erin and Veronica both, because I try to, as a writer, I look at different angles and different things, right? And remember how I said I had flags at first. I don't mean to step on any toes, but here's what you do. If you have a guy friend that you trust, right, this is how you find out if these guys are real. If you're in the truth community, this is a minted, patented approach to truthers that are female. and they will approach this way, and they'll use this dialogue. That's why I'm going like this. I'm trying to be honest. They do this. They make you fall in love with them. But the thing is this, I'm not trying to negate your relationship. I'm just saying, if you have a guy friend that sits down with, because I have other women that tell me the exact same thing you just described, and they end up, holding that candle, and they may miss on the others that may come in their life. It's very important to keep the eyes open, because you've got a lot going for you. And it's like, I just would say this,
I know what you mean
out there. But here's the deal. What I would just say is this. I don't mean to step on your toes here. I'm concerned about you all. So a guy friend that you can trust, if they sat down with this particular character or person who you care about, and had a dialogue with them apart from you or anyone else in the room, things would be revealed that would allow you to know if this person cares or if you're being played. So I would say in the future, have a guy friend you can trust, that, because I would do something like that. I'd be like, hey, I understand you know so-and-so. And I would sit down and have a drink or something with them, and I could get information to know if they really care. A guy doesn't know how to work this scenario. So a guy who loves you and cares about you is going to reflect that. I'll see it in their eyes, their conversation, their topics they choose, how they look at the waitress. But if they do not care about you, it's going to reveal, it'll save you a whole world of trouble, and you'll meet the person you should be with. So I don't, just picture this. Truthing women, truthers that are women, this is the go-to approach. It's the scenario I've heard from so many people. If this guy's real, and I hope he is, then I hope that, because you deserve love, and you all do. But I just want to look out for the women in the truth community that this is an approach used. So just others listening in, be careful, and have a guy friend meet these guys for lunch, and you'll get all the information you need. And, you'll get all the information you need. Make sense?
My thing, yes, and my thing about that is this. I have zero friends. I've always had zero friends. Sometimes there's been there's been people I talk to. Like one time I had one friend, he and I were actually researching, this was a while back. That's a jump if I'm going to talk about that. But guess what? I'm going to talk about it because it's important my
we naturally
story.
Bridge this way. Go for it.
So my friend John, he lived in Monroe, Louisiana. I was living in Ruston, but I was always in Monroe and stuff too, because there was a music venue there, and some things going on. But also Monroe, Louisiana is #1 highest crime per capita, and that's because it's all organized crime, and it is what it is. I mean, I think some people are getting kind of nervous over there now. Anyways, though, but it was real funny. So I used to have a Facebook account, and I'm trying to remember what year this was. This was probably about 2016. But me and John started talking, and we had been in each other's presence before, like whenever he would have a show and I'd tell him, hey, and everything, or people would introduce me to him. But we never got to hang out one-on-one, even though we both felt like a really energetic type connection of hey, we would have so much stuff to talk about. Anyways, but besides all of that, okay, so it's about 2017, 2016, something like that. And I was on Facebook one day, and he messaged me, and we kind of started talking. We found out together at the same time that we were both researching Freemasons. So he and I together were doing that. And he was finding out some information. I was looking at some stuff, we're reading texts, we're going through books and all kinds of stuff. He had a very hard life, and he was down on his luck a lot, but he was an extremely, extremely skilled musician. He was a very loving father. He loved his kids a lot. But, Monroe, there's a lot of places that are really bad places, like the disguised Satanists, stuff like that. But Monroe is a big spot for that. But also, okay, so he got killed. He got stabbed to death in his home. And
I'm so sorry, because it's a beautiful story to have that happen.
Yeah. It was 2021, I think. or 2022. It was either 2021 or 2022. He was stabbed to death in his home, and he ended up losing his life, even though he was really, really fighting super hard to survive. But you know, what's so really obvious that all this is organized crime is because the person that took his life, she went to the jail. They arrested her. She goes there. She tells her full story in detail, everything that she did. And I don't think she stayed a night in jail. She's still out there. She's still out there. You can still pick up the paper and see her getting arrested for like misdemeanor drug charges and stuff like that. So you see what I'm saying? They keep them out there so they can keep doing their crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, to stabilize society. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, so, you know, that's another one of the things that happened. Yeah, and everything really about Chase was this. And he had some stuff going on. You could tell he had some programming that was like not good, stuff like that. So I was aware of that. However, and now I know that he's somewhere and he's doing military stuff and he has no memory of me. And it's like, would I like to see him again one day? Yeah, that would be great, you know, but also, like you said, what is organic will be the thing to happen. It won't be because I'm trying to make it happen. Like when I was trying to find out what happened to him, basically I thought that was my mission at the time, was just to find out what happened to him. But it was like, as I started to go further and further and further into, well, now I got to look into this. Well, now this leads here. And so I have to, like, it's been such a puzzle. But the thing about it is this. I feel that if that ever were to happen, it will not be because I force it to happen. And it will not be because that I'm, you know, like fighting against anything else to happen. I feel like that it'll be, you know, it'll just happen on its own. Sorry, I'm plugging my phone in here.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
That's what I'm feeling too.
I mean,
I'm feeling the same thing for you and Veronica both. It's like, not good guys are out there. I have good guy radar. I can spot good guys, you know, and I make it a point to talk on the air, like what are good guys and what are not good guys. I don't like games. I don't like tricks. I don't like traps. I don't like the way where they, you know, are desperate to make themselves matter, but I like the ones that actually do care and are genuine, natural, you know, they're letting it fall naturally into place. That's how relationships should happen. You deserve that. Veronica deserves that. I want that to happen, you guys. So just take it from me. I do have guy radar to see if they're nice or not. And that's what I'm saying. If you guys ever need it, I'd have lunch with them and I'll find out for real. I have a way of actually seeming like I'm not looking for anything and I can get everything I need. So yeah, I'll be there.
Thank you, Tom. You know, I'm going to. If it ever comes up, I doubt it because I'm still celibate and I'm one of my really,
You froze for a little bit on that one. You were just like,
yeah, we've been practicing on and off because it says internet unstable, but it's still rolling on YouTube. I hope it's stable on there.
It's good from my end. I saw nothing's froze. But I want to say too is like, you guys, never shortchange yourselves on the natural. Like I had that dream where, you know, the dream where the person sits down next to me and we just know. Go for that knowing, that natural knowing. There's no one feeding you things. It's just a knowing. You'll look in each other's eyes. You'll know. I believe in that. Maybe I'm almost romantic, but I believe in that. It's true. You'll have the right person you should be with. It'll happen. Just keep shining, and don't let anybody take you off course, no matter what they're.
Right. Exactly.
You're right.
What I was going to say.
And mine feels like this. Oh. No. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No. It's about you today. But what I just wanted to say is, just to add on to Tom's, you'll know if your best friend is your best friend or not when you leave them alone with, like, say, your husband or wife, whatever, or counterpart, and you'll know, you know, what kind of person